The Ryback Show starts now. Welcome to the Ryback Show Live. I am the big guy, Ryback. Happy Saturday, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you all are doing very, very, very good. Great weekend ahead of us here. Everyone over on TikTok and Instagram, the big guy, Ryback22. Thank you for joining on the live stream. Streaming also here, YouTube, Ryback TV, Twitch at Ryback Rules, and Twitter at Ryback. You are the co-host of this show. Your questions, the super chats are brought up on the screen. Always greatly appreciated. The big guys, Starbucks coffee money and shoulder massage money, the scar tissue massage money on all of that. Otherwise, other questions are brought up as I see them. I will answer them, but the super chats are brought up on the screen for you there, for you loyal Rybackers out there. What do we got going on today, guys? I'm fasting as always, and got a nice, busy, relaxing day ahead. Saturdays are always busy, but also more relaxing because I don't have to worry about eating, don't have to worry about training, and but I do a lot of shoulder work and get a lot done for the week. Usually on Saturday and Sundays, even though Sundays is a big conditioning day. I do a lot of cardio on Sundays, usually a sauna, get in there as well. But before we jump into things, guys, this podcast is brought to you by Feed Me More Nutrition, my premium supplement line sweetened with stevia and monk fruit, no harmful artificial sweeteners or colors, vegan friendly for he, she, and thee on feedmemore.com. You can save 20% with I take that back. No, wait, we still have the 20% code. It is about to go to 15, but we still have the 20%. Ryback Show 20. You can save 20% with Ryback Show 20, Ryback Show 20 at the end of the checkout process. Take advantage of that, guys. We are dropping that down to 15% here very, very soon on that, as we've got a lot of the codes and the different things we've adjusted down. I tried to give you guys as big of discounts as I can, and I encourage all of you to sign up for my email and text message program on that, where you still get the big savings for that. But we've adjusted everything down to getting back to normal with everything as we continue to move away from the pandemic era and all that good jazz. So take advantage of that, guys. Best supplements on the planet, all the Ryback merch. I'm wearing my R logo Ryback shirt right here. We've got a ton of merch and accessories over on feedmemore.com as well. Check out the new site we've had done. And also your reviews are greatly appreciated. And your reviews for this show are greatly appreciated, as we're on all podcast platforms. If you've got a moment to go over to iTunes and leave a nice review, I say thank you in advance. Let me get we got comments here. I got to get the comment section up. Actually, I had it switched over to the other side. Appreciate it. I'm a coward in wrestling. Hell yeah, I'm a coward in wrestling, my man. The big guy Ryback, the biggest coward in professional wrestling history. Just a yellow belly fool. Just a yellow belly coward. I mean, I am so pathetic. I don't know how I managed to even make any money in the business being as big of a coward as I am. I mean, I just went through my whole career scared, not wanting to look anybody in the eye, keeping my head down. I don't know how I mustered up the confidence to go out there and to pretend that I'm some big, bad, tough guy when I'm just a yellow-bellied, little pathetic fool coward, just weaseling my way amongst the business, stealing money every single day, making everybody think I'm so big, bad, and tough, the big, scary Ryback. But no, I'm a coward. And you called me out here on the Ryback Show. Thank you. Way to start off the show. Good to see all of you. Let's see. We're just going to shell shock you out of here. I don't like, you've already, weirdo. How the hell YouTube, with the lack of notifications, but they always go to these schmucks. So odd how that works. I don't know nothing about Dan. I don't know nothing about that guy. Literally don't know anything. Let's see here. Let's get to some questions, guys. I planted a Fuji apple to pollinate with my Honeycrisp apple yesterday, and also planted a Placentia walnut tree that's really good sized already that I got from Star Nursery. and to replace the peach tree that got snapped by the high winds that we got a few weeks ago. But that tree also, the leaves fell off of it right away, and the wood still seemed, it didn't seem like I would test it, because I've had another tree where it died and the wood really just like snapped really easily. But the peach tree, when it broke with the wind, it broke right from the bottom. The and I think it was not taking. And unfortunately, I planted a ton of trees. I've had, I think, two or three that haven't taken, and the rest have. So that walnut tree should do really, really well here. And I've got all these fruit trees. We need some protein growing. So we've got a walnut. I'm going to get a pistachio, a couple pair of pistachio trees. And, just I got all the fruits and nuts and vegetables here and for the future. But planting trees around your house is very beneficial. It can cut down on energy production from, they say, anywhere from 7 to 15%, with 7 kind of being the range for residential. Businesses, it says it can go up to 15. So in that 7% range, because if you plant trees and the right size trees around your homes, another benefit of it is increases, and I can tell you this firsthand, it increases the mood. There's just something about planning life around your house and caring for that life and taking care of it. And the energy around my house and the aura I just feel is really, really happy and positive. I love like coming home. I love like when I see my house. When I first had this house built and moved in, there was a lot of desert landscape, and I loved the home, but I didn't like the energy just wasn't right. It needed stuff. And then I had the vision to do the pool, and that helped out. But then I didn't have enough greenery around the pool, and it just seemed empty to me. Now with all these big palm trees, they're all growing really fast over the last couple of years. And it's I highly recommend. You don't have to do it all at once, but it also can raise the value of your home significantly. Planting the right kind of trees, and so it really, really, really just ups everything. I just start with one, and you start getting the hang of it. But the lesson too in this is when you plant stuff, and sometimes things don't go right, and it can be a little discouraging to see a tree die and things, and sometimes it just doesn't make sense. You follow the directions, and just for whatever reason, it could be the soil, right? It needed loose soil, and the soil could be could be clay like it, and you think you do a good enough job, but the key is not to get discouraged. And that peach tree, and like I had an empty spot, it'd be really easy. Man, I'm not going to do this. I'm no good at this. Nope. Try again. Go try again. And that's kind of life. I thought about that the other day. I go, this is a lot like life. Like, you're going to mess up sometimes. Things are just going to go not as planned, but you just keep going because you enjoy doing it. And it doesn't matter what anyone thinks, what anyone says. Doesn't, no, I want a nice tree there. I have a vision of what I want this to look like. I'm going to try again. And that's life. Super chats coming in. Ragav Chalwa, Ryback Show, regular shoulder massage and coffee fun for the big guy. Thank you very much, buddy. I hope you're having a great weekend. I know I missed, I think, a couple others here. I thought I saw another one I missed. Maybe it got pulled back. Wait, there, Tyler, another Ryback Show regular, Tyler Shugru. Two things. One, I want Edge and Orton to reform Team Rated RKO. And that was a very entertaining duo together. I would have no problem with that. Two, remember when Ziggler was in the Spirit Squad? LOL. DX was always kicking their butt. I did. I remember being in Deep South Wrestling when they debuted at the Royal Rumble, I believe. If that was it, Royal Rumble, and watching that and seeing a couple of the guys from developmental that I knew, and me being really, really early on in my career, it was a really cool thing to see. And Ziggler has had one hell of a career. He has played many roles. He's played the role of champion many times in various forms, and he's made a good amount of money. I would guess, and he's also pretty smart with his money, from what I always understood when we talked, and like when I was there and stuff, and we talk about like investments and stuff, and does a lot of the right things with his money. And I think you're gonna look back, and I would bet the length of time that he's been there, by the time when it's all said and done, I bet you he's in the top group of people that have made the amount of money they have made in pro wrestling. Maybe not like in any one particular year, even though I think now he's, you know what I mean, but like overall, because he's had a lengthy, very lengthy career and been very injured very little. Right, he had that little streak of concussions early on where we and him on the duck and my forearm hit the top of his head. Got concussed, but he had already one or two before that. I think he had one from Swagger with the kick when he was champion. That might have been, I think that was after he was already, because I remember on it too. We didn't make hard enough contact. He was wrestling, I think, for a period too. This isn't making any like excuses on it, but like when you get a concussion, you're more susceptible to getting them for a period of time. Sometimes people the rest of their career with that, right? And it was, I just remember there was a stretch where the concussions with him, and then after I think finally not an issue anymore, thank God. And I'm telling you, he's super talented, man. Super fun to work with. Anytime me and him wrestled, because I think too we get along so well, so easy and such a good time. We tore it up quite a few times. I remember on live events, and we had a lot of TV matches and stuff over the years. Easily one of my favorites to wrestle with, as there's a group of people, and I don't ever like just saying someone was my favorite. I've talked about that in the past, but I enjoyed wrestling him a lot. All right, let's see here. Dan says, "Do you have any future videos coming up with Phoenix Marie? I love your chemistry together." Yeah, I got to do a food video. Maybe I'll shoot her a message and see if she can do a food video tomorrow. I haven't seen her in a while, so I don't know if she's in town. I got to check because she flies and travels a lot, but she also has a residence in Montana, so she goes back and forth a bit from here to Montana. Feed me more news about AEW trouble in backstage. I don't know. I don't think that's. I don't know. I see some of the stuff. You guys got to remember. Sometimes things are like they're put out and there's no merit to any of it. So I always tell people the best thing to do is to not get too caught up in all of that unless you know there's actual physical proof of it. A lot of times things are taken and people are just trying to make money on creating headlines. And I've seen so many fake things put out there on myself and then other people that I know, that I know enough that when I see something happening now that like I just say, oh, we'll just see what happens. Because it's like, and the best thing to do is to try to avoid that stuff as much as possible. But with social media and Twitter and people making videos on the, like, people now do, this is where I see a lot of the stuff on like TikTok and Instagram at different times. Things will pop up on people making videos on your feed of like the news and like them giving a comment because they're just making videos, right, to get views, and rightfully, there's nothing wrong with that. And but it regurgitates news that may or may not be true with it. So I'm not there. I have no way of knowing what the situation with anything there could be. But you know, I saw like some of the stuff too with and I saw AEW on Wednesday, but like with Punk. I'll tell you guys this: the best storylines in the wrestling is its best, and I've talked about this, is when you use real life situations or you make people think that there's real life situations, real life controversy going on within the business. It is never, Razor and always used to say it's not the friends business, it's show business. Right. And that's really the best business is done when there's conflict. Now that could be made up, and like I said, tricking the dirt sheet people, feeding them false news. I think that's brilliant. And that way, then that creates interest in the product more so than there would be if people think they're just going along with the script, right? That is the best pro wrestling. You can't do it on everything, but you could do it on the big things. And I could tell you, I think AEW has interest in a John Moxley CM Punk feud. with that being moved to next week, I think now that can that be completely real? Absolutely. I don't know. I'm not there with it. It also can be that I know that they're smart enough to make that what it to make it seem that to generate interest. And as long as people, even if there is real life controversy and tension, as long as you're professional when you're doing the job and working, that's all that matters. You can hate someone, you guys, I don't care. And this is, I think it's best that way. I think it's best for everybody. I think everyone will make more money if that, and that's like the best UFC fights are when there's real controversy and real tension, real hatred, right? So I'm a fan of all of that stuff. And it's, I think it's great. And I think it's great when people don't like each other and they talk about stuff on promos. I think that makes it more real, right? And that's what people viewing want. But and with that comes, and this is where the talent and the people just got to know to just disconnect from you guys, the portion of you that yell and get angry over everything and attack people, right? And like get worked and whatnot, and just kind of disconnect from you and stay away from you and let the business hopefully get better. Somebody says, "Why do you think you know everything?" I'll be the first one to tell you I don't know everything. Far from it. I speak with confidence on the things that I speak about, but I don't know everything. I've never once claimed to know everything. So, and I have no issue saying I could say I know very little. I know a lot and I know very little. Super chat. Bill Steinmetz. Thank you, Bill. Morning from Vegas, Ryback. Good morning, bud. My dear friend, Tony Cavarici said he was a high school classmate of yours. Any interesting Vegas high school stories? I that name, I know that name. I do remember, and I believe that was from, I don't know what year it had to, maybe I'm thinking Western high school, but chances are also junior high at Gibson middle school. I don't know if it go all the way back. He might have even back to JT McWilliams Elementary School, as there was a group of us, everyone that stayed together, all that lived in this area, went to all the same schools in that period, uh, and all in the same zoning district, right? With that, but I believe we played football together. I don't have. I gotta. I know. I actually know who you're talking about, but I don't know. I didn't know him that well. I don't have any stories or anything, or at least nothing off the top of my head with any of that. But I just remember. I don't know what if he. I went to Western for my freshman, sophomore, and junior year, and then transferred to Palo Verde for my senior year with that. And which is one of those things. And I graduated with a bunch of kids that I didn't know. And I knew a couple. And I had friends from baseball and football, people that, but not like nowhere near like the friends that I had from when I went to Western. And I always look back and I did it. My dad wanted me to go to a better school for baseball, and it all worked out. It all worked out. So, but yeah, man, we played football together, if I'm not mistaken, and always I don't nothing bad, anything. It's just amazing how fast time flies, man. I could say that for sure. It's and I've never been man, I'm not like a big social person, a lot of things. Even though I can be, I never went to any of the high school functions. I just played sports and I played with my friends. I had my dogs. Kind of like I just did my own thing. And I never like went to like the prom or any of the high school. Never went to anything. I didn't care. I just remember I loved sports, played everything. Super athletic. A straight A student for a good portion, and then A B student the rest of my throughout high school, all the way through school, growing up. E, straight E, citizenship on that. Very well behaved kid on everything on the report cards, and and I've never gone to any of my reunions or anything. I don't never just never even thought about it. No, I don't. I've never gotten anything either because I don't know. I never inquired and was so busy wrestling, right? But it's crazy to think I graduated in 2000. 22 years ago, over 22 years ago. So it's just time flies. Straight E is a good wrestling name. Tyler Sugaru back again. I want to see a segment where you and Brock are brawling in the ring and the entire roster comes out to try to break you up. I love those segments. LOL. Just me and Brock brawling in the ring and guys coming out trying to break us up, and me and Brock just throwing them out of the ring over the top rope, just chucking guys all over the place. And then we keep fighting. The fans are just screaming, "Fight forever." We just dismantle everybody. Just total destruction. That's not a bad idea. That'd be a pretty good segment. We had a nice question. Somebody asked me if I like to smell men's farts in the ring. We have shell shocked him out of Rybackville. Raghav Chalwa back again. Thank you. I remember seeing one Indian food video you did, wondering if you would be doing any more. Also had a second super chat earlier. Let me go scroll back up, buddy. Thank you. That was Saffron Indian. I need to go back and do another video there. They had a lot of selections, more stuff that I can do. I will say there will be another video from doing Indian food at some point. Yes. Yeah. Oh, we have someone that went to Mojave High School. Brother, I'm further north west than that where I'm at now, but I go drive by that area a lot. Mojave High School, when I was a kid in high school, I remember we came up here for baseball my junior year. Man, there was nothing around that pig farm. Just remember it smelled horrible. And I remember thinking, like, whoa, this is so crazy. This is what this school out in the middle of nowhere up here. Because I lived by Western High School and everything was starting to grow out, nowhere near what it is now, right? Never did I imagine I would live way further than that up as time went on. But I remember I smashed a home run that won the game. It was either a grand slam or a 3-run home run to win it in the final inning. My uncle was driving. He was trying to get to the game. He was late, and he was in his truck watching. He saw that I was up to bat. He was out in left field on the street behind that. I smashed a home run over his truck all the way out there, and that was one. I remember that was one of my one of the best feeling home runs I ever hit in my high school days. It was a bomb, but it was a game winner, and or put us ahead. They had the final at bat, but put us ahead to win the game and in the last inning. And that's what I remember about Mojave High School the most. Whenever I drive by, I go, man, it's so crazy. You get flashbacks to when your glory days, my Al Bundy baseball days. Let me see if I missed where that. I think the gorilla you have looking over the pool is the coolest thing ever. Thank you very much. I actually want to get more things for around the house. I want to get like big statues. Like I want to get like those big tiger statues. I want to get some of that stuff too. But I've just like I've the trees are like my main focus in growing and getting these trees. And like my pomegranate tree is growing a ton of pomegranates already. And it's I feel like I've got it down pretty well, despite like I had a Stella cherry tree. All the leaves fell off in the summer after it was growing cherries. It made a reversal and died. But the tree is still alive, but I don't know what went wrong. And so I'm trying to figure out, and like I'm hoping I'll find out early next spring if it doesn't bloom flowers and fruit. Then I botched a cherry tree too, but everything else is doing pretty good. The gorilla watches over the backyard. I saw here you got Raghav Chalwa. Thank you again for the super chat. Where can I leave a review for the greatest pre-workout on the planet? That would be my Wake Up Unlimited Energy. That would be over on feedmemore.com. If you click on the Wake Up Unlimited Energy on the products and you scroll down, there should be a section there for you to leave a review on the website on each individual product that you want to leave them on. And I share a lot of those reviews, and I'll put them on Twitter because there's a way for me to share that really quickly. Because I'll see they'll pop up on my email that, oh, new reviews, new reviews. So I try to share those occasionally so people can see that the real customers, and like I said, everything is majority 5-star reviewed time and time again on the best supplements on the planet. And thank you. I've got the mango candy. We're getting that on pre-order. I mean on order. To So we got to get that because we ran out of stock on that. And the green apple, I'm holding off on until we could figure out there was some clumping issues with the green apple, and we're out of stock of it. That started happening maybe 3, 4, or 5 months ago, and well before its expiration date. And so there's something in that green apple that, and it's not bad. There's nothing wrong. You just shake it. You can still, it doesn't affect anything, but it doesn't visually doesn't look good. And that happened a long time ago on one of my finish it BCAAs because we had an ingredient in there that was causing clumping. But the ingredients in the wake up are all the same for all the flavors. So it has to be something with the natural flavors and that is causing that caused that one to clump a little earlier with it. But so I'm holding off. I'll probably just keep the pink lemonade and mango, and then just do another flavor on the Pumplex City. So then everything's kind of balanced out of having multiple flavors on all the powders with that. But yeah, we'll see on all of that. And but that's how you can leave a review on that. And also been getting a small tingling feeling from the wake up. Just wondering, that would be beta alanine, and that is some people get it, some people don't. I don't get it. I think I might have got it really early on when I first took it. It's also like niacin. Some people will get like a really uh, flushing sensation. Their skin will get red and maybe even a little itchy from taking niacin. Like I don't get that at all. I did early on when I took niacin, but beta alanine is fantastic for increasing aerobic and anaerobic workout capacity on that, and is very good for us with that. But the tingling is a natural, is an occurrence that happens in some people, and some people it doesn't. But that's what that is, no doubt. Thank you for telling me to return at the Royal Rumble next year. Please don't spam the chat. I appreciate the love and support, but no need to spam the chat. I am, as I mentioned on my last feeding time video, the Tarantino's vegan video that I did. Everything, as you guys know, my WWE deposition was supposed to be last week. It was supposed to be on Tuesday, and without saying too much, they reached out on Sunday morning last week. So after I did the last show, and they have asked for another extension, and which, as you know, prior when Vince was in charge, that was it was very frustrating on the extensions because nothing happened, and it was not good. And they have asked that under the new leadership that they would like to amicably get this settled. And I said we've reached all the other settlement terms have been agreed upon outside of one thing, and I'm not moving on that one thing, and because I know what has been done and all the wrongs of the past have to be made right. So I've decided I'm gonna give them a fair opportunity under their new leadership. I'm gonna keep my cool. I go, okay. I see that they appear to be making some positive changes from what we could see visually. I'm gonna give them one chance to see what they come back with. And so they should be coming back with something on the settlement. And again, the details will not be discussed on any of that. But I've always kept you guys up to date on everything going on, and I'm staying busy. I'm doing my work. I'm running my stuff, and I do my investments, and we will see. And I'm keeping a cool head on all of this. But like I've said, I'm more than okay moving forward with this, which I don't believe they are because they know I'm going to win. So we'll see what they come back with. And again, if we can reach an agreement on all of this, right? And then we could see about after that. But that's where my priorities are, and that's where they have to be, and all of this because it is, like I've said, very personal and everything that has gone on. You know, I make tweets that are seen. I get 1 to 2,000 impressions on my Twitter account right now. You tell me, across all the platforms and all the games and all the BS that I know that is connected to, the wrongs of the past have to be made right, and there's only one way to do that, and it's very very simple, and they know that. And but they seem to now want to get this resolved. So we'll see. I want nothing more for it to be resolved, but I will not um, sacrifice from from what needs to be done. Super chat, Tyler Sugaru again, pouring in that money today, Tyler. Ryback, Sophie, and Little Guy versus the Bloodline. Book it. Sophie and Little Guy I would never have them have anything to do with pro wrestling. I would never put them on TV with that. I would never let them travel. I would never fly with them. I would never put them at risk for anything. I love them and I protect them, and they live a great life, and I take them for daily car rides, and they are constantly, they get the best food in the world. They get the best treats. They get real food, and then they get their greenie. They love their greenies. They go for walks every day, or damn near every day. And I really, really, man, I love those dogs so much. Bobby Reynolds, thank you for the super chat. Have you heard of this one YouTuber, Joey's World Tour? I do. I don't know a lot. I remember early on when I started doing the food stuff, there were like some food people that would pop up, like Dame Drops with that review bra guy kid who looks like a kid. I think he's a guy that wears the suits for his reviews. And then I saw the Joey's World Tour also, but I don't know. I didn't watch a lot of his. I just saw, I think, a clip or something, and he seemed pretty wild from the little clip that I saw. I know the Hodge twins; those guys are in Vegas. They do their food videos and stuff, and but I didn't know any of that even existed before it was an idea that was presented to me. They're like, go do this video. It's really popular. And we are trying to figure out ways to grow my YouTube channel. And then I just go, this is a layup with my Feed Me More. Wouldn't I do this? Because I felt a little weird. I remember like, oh man, it feels weird going and doing food stuff. And then once I understood marketing better and business, I go, wait a second. I can go do these food videos that ties into my marketing on my supplements. I would be being lazy if I didn't do this. And it just, once I figured that all out, it was a no brainer. Excuse me. That, which I'll do these for as long as I can. Which luckily, doing food reviews, there's not like pro wrestling where there's a shelf life on your career for that, right? Yeah, that road to 1 million subscribers ain't happening anytime soon on YouTube. I can tell you that much. It's going to be until my accounts are fixed. I do think it happens really quickly once my accounts are all fixed. Um, and like I said, I try not to think about this stuff, guys. Because when I think about it, I get really angry and really frustrated because a lot of years and hard work and sacrifice to do this stuff and to still grow it while being restricted, and when it's getting clamped down harder and harder, it's like I focus my priorities on other things and make money and stay happy in real life. Tyler again, Sugaru, your dogs are adorable. Tell them I said what's up. Sophie, Tyler Sugaru says what's up. Little guy, Tyler Sugaru says what's up. Thank you very much, buddy. Yeah, there's some people on there that eat ridiculous amounts of food and tiny people too, man, that are not big. I see some of that stuff on TikTok. There'll be someone will post a video or a random video of like there's this skinny kid, like small guy, just eating huge plates of food really fast. Not Matt Stoney either. I know I'm well aware of Matt Stoney, who's I don't know if there's anybody else like Matt Stoney. Excuse me. I feel like I'm going to sneeze. I don't know if I've ever sneezed on the Ryback show. I'm a very aggressive sneezer. It'd just be one really loud, just intense sneeze usually. Now I feel like I've hyped up the sneeze. We got to. It's still borderline can come. No, I think it might have passed. Maybe another day. Yeah, the review bro. I think that guy's really entertaining. I understand the like I that guy's built up a hell of a following. That channel, the numbers those people, everybody's channels do better numbers than mine, pretty much, despite me having the subscribers. That wasn't always the case, but will I do any more eating hot stuff? I've talked about that. I don't really know. Um, I'm kind of I've done pretty much everything outside of a I didn't do the Mad Dog Plutonium number 9, and but that Johnny Scoville Tuba Terre was the hottest thing. That was a lot hotter than the extract, but that extract is very powerful and definitely would hit me hard. My tolerance at one point was so high that would have been the time to do it. I wouldn't want to. Honestly, I don't have it's not worth it to me. Um, I like hot food still. I use some of the stuff very sparingly in some of my food, but it's so mild because you're just using that's how it's meant to be used, right? And you get the benefits from it when you're eating. When it says don't use more than a drop or two of an extract, and you're taking like a spoonful, or some people are chugging the bottles, you're asking for you're playing a really risky game. You're asking for trouble. And I realize I go, yeah, I have a really high tolerance. I'm mentally very strong. I proved that, I believe, time and time again. I go, that was all I really wanted to do with it was just to show you guys mental toughness. I said, now it's just kind of like running a risk and of health and health issue that you would never have had like and I didn't, but I don't want that to be the case. And it also I've talked about it in being busy, it ruins your entire day with it because what goes in has to come out. And so going in burns, then if you get the stomach cramps, which are the most painful thing in the world, those can last for hours. I had it last for 6 or 7 hours on one really bad occasion, and then go in the bathroom. Usually up through the next day is extremely could be extremely uncomfortable with that, and that's where you're just like, man, this can't be good for you. Just burning your insides, and I go, I'm not gonna play that game anymore. So, not to say like maybe a Pocky chip thing here. I don't know. If it was something and I go, you know what? And it timed out where I thought, okay, I'll do this. But and those aren't too bad. Eating one chip wouldn't be too bad. But we'll see. Right now with my channel not getting the traction and being getting the views and being shown, I I'm not too motivated to take a chance like that for a video that would not get any views. Super chat Bill Steinmetz, on a scale of 1 to bananas, have you tried the amazing Going Ape smoothie from the local LVAC? If you haven't, it's a Ryback must, seems to fit. I believe I might is that the have like banana and peanut butter, if I'm not mistaken? If so, I have had it and it is amazing if that is the Going Ape. If not, I don't which one I'll look it up on their menu. and see. You don't have to leave a super chat of what it is, but if you do and I see it, I'll read it here. Not the super chat, just what's in it. But thank you. I believe because there was a shake I got with the banana and peanut butter and had some other stuff in it, and it was years ago that I had it. It was great. Timmy G, good to see you, my man. Assuming you've watched it, do you recall how you perceived the Hell in a Cell match with Mick Foley and Undertaker with the stunts that occurred? I did watch it at the time. I've not watched that whole thing back anytime recently. Uh, I'm trying to think if I watched when I probably watched some Hell in a Cell matches when me and Punk had ours, two of them, right? Yeah, we had two of them, I think, if I'm not mistaken. The I don't recall anything outside of the Mick getting thrown off the cell with it. I'd have to go back and watch it here to have any thoughts like on that. I enjoy most stuff. I'm pretty easygoing, man. As long like I enjoy watching older wrestling more than usually today's wrestling. And not to say that and there's some of the stuff today that I really enjoy, but it's more so than I enjoy watching old school wrestling a little bit more. And that said, if I'm wrestling and doing something, I'm looking. Like I did when I wrestled for WWE. I would watch modern wrestling looking for moves, or in with a blend of old wrestling. I would watch certain things just looking for a move that I could take and change, and or like if it could spark an idea of something that I could do creatively on the off from an offensive standpoint. Going to throw another shell shock here. Yeah, say this is true. I know your pain. I like to be sweating after a meal. That's the kind of heat I like when I get spicy food. I actually like to taste the food. Yeah, same. Like a lot of those extracts are actually really good if you just put like a small amount and you can reap the rewards of spicy food because there are health benefits to it. But those extracts are not meant to be taken in large amounts. And that's you put a drop of that stuff and stir it into your food, your chili, whatever it is you're making. That, and then you put some other stuff in there and season it really good. Awesome. You'll sweat, you'll feel good, but you're not going to be getting cramps. You're not going to be having a lot of issues, outside. But when you put a large amount of something like that in you, it is, it ruins your day and night, man. Do I think WWE should not unify the belts like they did for Roman and the Usos? How long do you think they'll have the titles? I don't know, but there's nothing wrong with doing something like that for a short period of time, and then finding a way to, you know, shift the focus back to splitting the stuff up. There's always going to be just adjustments along the way, and it makes them. It you got to remember it elevates all of them and puts them on a level as characters that they're playing. That right, they're very strong level right now. I like it. It's not forever. I think a lot of times you guys watch stuff and you're like, oh, this is ruining it forever. No, it's not. It's a temporary storyline. You don't know what the long term plans are, and eventually they're probably going to split up and go to having both on both shows, and then right, and then down the line again, years down the line, they'll probably do the same thing all over again with somebody else, right? And that's pro wrestling. A lot of fans, people just capricious, always just changing, just fickle, and just man, enjoy it. The stuff you hate on today. 5 years from now, you'll be saying, "Man, I wish this stuff was this stuff back then." Happens all the time. Do a review collaboration with a review bra and feeding time with him, where he's sat in the passenger seat eating the same food, and Bully Ryback taking all his food all the time. uh, I the we need to do a collaboration with Review Bra where on feeding time he wears regular clothes, like I wear my athletic clothes. So we got to get him in his athletic clothes for a feeding time video, and then I'll put on a suit for a joint venture for the Review Bra food reviews. Another shell shock. Would I be able to slam Vader? Vader is a very large guy, but I have no doubt I've slammed people larger. So Vader moved very, very well. Very athletic, big man. I would have loved to wrestle Vader. That would have been hell of a match. Very physical. My thoughts on Bobby Lashley. I love Lashley. I think he's done a fantastic job with his return to the company since he's been back. Extremely hardworking, talented guy. Tyler Sugaru, I want fried chicken now and potatoes. Yeah, that I'm fasting, so food sounds really really good. Peter Jackowicz, thank you for the super chat. Just asking, do you still do meet and greets, and would you ever come to Springfield, Massachusetts? I'm not doing anything right now. That's why I do the fan mail that through the PO box, but and we charge on that now because I'm not doing appearances. I did the free fan mail for like 6 years, and I remember people on other appearances they go, "You shouldn't do that because that could affect when you do meet and greets and do things. If you're doing away." And I've signed thousands and thousands and thousands of things for people. Um, and but that said, I'm not against doing them. I've just not done them. And one I couldn't travel for years with Sophie, and I did two or three last year that ended up timing out before my mother was working with everything going on, where I was able to go travel and do a few appearances. But it would be I think now and with where it would be very difficult right now, just the way everything is. And one another thing too is, and I always enjoy them. I like doing them, but I don't need the money to do them. And so and again, my priorities are taking care of my dogs, and I can't check her in anywhere, right? And she needs constant attention and care, like to be monitored. If she's left alone, she has to be in a cage. You can't leave dogs alone in cages all day and with nobody there, right? Different times, and so I just I've been lucky enough to be good with everything in my business and my investments where I don't you know I love doing them. I love making money. I there was somebody that months ago wanted me to go back east and paid a nice amount of money to go do a signing, and um, it actually would have timed out prior that I would have been able to go do it. But I remember they wanted to book me on a red eye, and I go no, I would like just a morning flight so I could sleep in my own bed and get in, and I don't mind staying in a hotel the night before, do the signing, and then fly out that day. And because I have my sleep apnea machine, I don't explain this to the person because you don't need to explain every detail. But I sleep apnea where I like using my sleep apnea machine. I have a home device. I don't have a travel machine anymore, right? So I don't want to get broken up sleep on an airplane without my sleep apnea thing because I don't need to. I don't need to anymore. I did that before for years. I don't need to. And the person was like, "Well, nobody else has a problem taking red eyes." And I just right then and there, I go, I'm not trying to be confrontational. I'm just saying, like a morning flight. I'm not. You could book a morning flight. I don't know if the red eye is cheaper for you. I don't know what's going on, but I'm not going to get into like an argument over having a morning flight so I could sleep with my sleep apnea machine. And I just said, "I'm good, man. No, thank you. Thank you for asking, but I'm good. I'll pass." And I didn't need the money, so I could make decisions based off of my health and my priorities rather than that. And but someone, it's I like doing them. I the timing of everything right now with everything going on, I haven't had to. But that doesn't. I don't. I always like to. I don't. I encourage if people do want to book for something, you could always email and see. And if for whatever reason, the worst I'm going to say is no, thank you on that. So, which I say a lot, but you never know, right? There's shell shock, the same. I guess some real crazy people here sometimes, and it's the same one making the counts. We're gonna shell shock you out. Don't spam the chat asking that. It's not even. Can't even give that. He keeps asking, "What's the max weight that I lifted?" You can't even give that an answer. Let me get the comments posted back up here. New comments. There we go. Life is going very well, thank you. I've been to Columbus, Ohio many times. Did backstage politics and cliques still exist in your time? I'm not sure why you're using capital letters on some of that stuff. I guess. I don't know. Working with the Shield was great. Let's see. My favorite MLB baseball team. I guess I'm always grew up liking the Dodgers. I would have to say I don't know if you I'm just going to go with the Dodgers, just because I watched them and rooted with them a lot with my dad growing up, and my dad's a Dodgers fan, so I'm in very good shape right now. I'm very, very happy with where I'm at, where I'm sitting, and going to continue to stay the course. Nope, I'm not doing interviews on YouTube channels. Thank you for asking, though. Thank you for wanting to try the products. They're all available on feedmemore.com. You can save 20% with discount code Ryback Show 20. Walter, good to see you, buddy. Hope everyone's doing well. Thank you. Thank you. Someone says Owen was better than Brett. That's your opinion. You're entitled to. Nothing wrong with that. Good to see all of you guys. I'm not doing any wrestling interviews or things, guys, on any of that stuff. I do all my stuff on here. I talk, I answer your questions on here to the best of my ability. But until everything is over with all the legal stuff, and in general, I'll tell you, even if I go back and do some stuff, I'm probably gonna not. I just stay away. I try to just not get caught up in any of that. Real life is just so much better and happier not getting caught up in all that, and I don't worry about other people's issues. I stay away from I try to unless I see it on social media on something, and then I don't spend too much time on things, and a lot of that stuff is just the same questions over and over and over and over again, right? And I'm cool. I'm cool. Again, so someone says backstage drama at AEW. Only common denominator is a spoiled little baby. Again, I would say I'm not there. You don't know if you're being worked or you don't know what's going on. There's a lot of lies and misinformation. Probably best to not form a strong opinion on something that you don't know anything about. I don't know anything about. Could it be real? Maybe. If it is real, and then there's actual physical, there's proof that the stuff is going on, right, and it actually happened, then if you want to form an opinion and right, cool. But I don't know anything going on there. You're dealing with COVID. I hope you feel better soon, buddy. Check out our kick out immune system support. It is very good stuff. We're going to go ahead and Edward, you're going to be shell shocked out of here. Thank you for playing, though. uh, it's quite clear the one guy when has access to making like accounts over and over again. He's tried to change it up a little bit this show, but he's failed miserably. I love you guys too. Yes, this is my I have a home podcast studio just set up in one of the rooms where I do all my recording and things and have the lighting and all that good jazz. We're getting really close on TikTok to hitting 3.2 million. They have completely neutered my TikTok account, and it's been really bad. But and it's been that way. I haven't had a post get. Oh, no post has even come close uh, to a million views in all of August. The last one was the last day of July that got a few million views, and then where normally I'll get multiple videos every week that go into the millions. That's how I know, and my account is down like 80 something percent on all this analytics, and I'm just like, yeah, what can you do? Good to see all of you guys. Thank you. Thank you, Cowboy. Hope you have a great day as well. Ryback, what is the hardest aspect of being a pro wrestler? The road, the people, all of it. It is you have to wear many hats very well to be a pro wrestler, especially if you're working like on a full time and living on the road, right? And you've got to be a professional packer. You've got to know how to pack efficiently and like to make sure you don't forget stuff going on the road each and every week in a very short amount of time. You have to be very good at carrying bags in from rental cars to hotels 4 or 5 nights a week, at least when I was there to that level. Now it's not quite that, but you're doing it for a day or two, maybe a few if you're in WWE. Um, you've got to know how to acquire food and eat as healthy as possible. You're dealing with checking in and out of airports and going through security multiple times a week, getting rental cars. You have to be a good driver. You can't be getting tickets all the time. You have to right. Very an aspect a lot of people don't think about on that. You have to be a safe driver. You need to be um, yeah, maybe be able to drive long hours, very tired, most of the time. On that, you have to be able to deal with getting recognized everywhere that you go. And sometimes it's better than others, but it can literally be every interaction of your day could be getting recognized and taking pictures if you choose to want to take pictures that day with people until you're alone in your hotel room and nobody can bother you. right? So you have to be able to deal with that on top of then getting recognized and going and working and entertaining and people. You have to be good at your job. You have to be able to perform each and every single day. You have to be able to perform hurt, not hurt. You have to be able to go out and elicit an emotion every single day. On top of then showing up TV's pay-per-views weekly, pay-per-views monthly of acting. You have to be on top of your job. You've got to be able to deal with pressure. You've got to be able to deal with adjustments. I think it's the most difficult job in the world to be successful at, because that's why it's oftentimes pretty difficult for outsiders to they might be able to get like one aspect of it, but to get all of it is pretty difficult. Thank you guys very much. Good to see all of you guys. With that, guys, we're going to wrap up today's show. I've got to do a feeding time tomorrow, so that will be out for Monday. And hopefully we get a couple recordings next week with everything. Been very, very busy with everything going on. So unfortunately, only one episode this week, but I thank you guys as always for joining me on that. And let's have a great weekend. Hope you guys all stay safe. I'm going to go ahead. I got to pull up my little Ryback Feed Me More video for the end of everything. And I've got to get a lot done today, guys. So thank you again. And until next time, my friends, stay hungry. Feed me more.
Feed me more.